But in terms of actual prepping for the show itself, throughout the year, I'm always writing homilies, right? So I'm always thinking about the readings, about living the Christian life, about the priesthood. And some of those homilies, I think, naturally lend themselves to maybe becoming songs, or, some thoughts are a good thought. They wouldn't work for a homily, but they would work for a chorus or something like that. So throughout the year, I'm always have tons of voice memos on my phone as I'm driving that I put stuff together. But I don't spend a lot of time necessarily at the piano or at the guitar doing stuff necessarily.
Okay.
It's a lot of ideas I have. And then probably in the 2-3 months before the concert is really when I'm going through voice memos, going through notes, putting together fragments of songs, kind of finishing stuff out. For me, once I get a good chorus, the rest of it's pretty easy to put together. But once I have the idea, that's really what I'm fishing for, And then, you hear this from everyone who writes music, or produces any kind of art. You write a lot of stuff that's not good, and you hope nobody ever hears it, right? Like, that all needs to be deleted from the face of the earth.
So you've actually done an entire song and said, this is not good enough?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would say probably most of the songs I've written, nobody's ever heard.
Really?
Yeah. But I think that's how you get good at it, and you pick the ones that are good. And even before the show, I had a lot more songs that I was going through, and I was sending them to a couple people kind of on my team that helped me go through homilies and songs, and kind of saying, like, play this one, don't play this one. I think this one would fit, this one may not fit, So
Who's part of that team?
Interesting enough, it's my cousin.
Okay.
Is one of them. She is just really good and super helpful and brutally honest with me about stuff, which
That's
I really
good.
appreciate.
Yeah.
She'll tell me, like, this is awesome, or like, this, you should never say this again. So I really appreciate that. And then my dad too. Usually those two I always send my homilies and songs to, and I always have them watch videos and things like that before I post them. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I often will pull other people into it as well, So depending on the situation, I often like to get lots of feedback from people before I put things out there.
Now you said you practiced a couple of days in advance, and then the night itself. What kind of preparation do you do, like mentally, backstage? I would assume that you pray with the other priests first. What else do you do?
Yeah,
like
we
backstage.
definitely pray together at the practices. We're always praying together to make sure we're aligning our hearts with what the Lord wants. So yeah, for me, the band is on there. Some of the songs, sometimes they're not, but I'm pretty much on there the whole time. So I have to make sure everything is set on my end. So I'm really running through. The thing that is most stressful for me, honestly, is just memorizing lyrics. So people sometimes are like, "Oh, well, you wrote the song. Shouldn't it be easy to remember your own lyrics?" But actually, that's the problem for me. Is that, like, if you listen to a song on the radio, you just get one version of it, and that's it.
Yes.
If you're writing a song, you have like 20 versions of what you could have written and what you did and what you moved, and so it's all scrambled in your mind. It's like, what was my final version of this song?
Which lyrics? I might accidentally sing a lyric that I cut out of the final version.
Cut
of the song.
out or flip the verse. I decided to do this line first over that one or whatever. So it's kind of when you're kind of crafting everything. You like the final product, but now you have to make sure that's the one that you remember.
That makes a lot of sense, because I've seen concerts and concert footage where they have teleprompters, and I wonder why do they have teleprompters? And I figured maybe it's just because you're just so into the moment that you forget sometimes where you are in the song. Maybe you're in the middle of a solo or guitar solo or something, but I never thought about that. The different versions of the song in your head.
That's at least for me. And then again, the fact that as a band we're not like on tour or something means that, like, this is the one big performance we focus on. So it isn't like we've all sung the songs or played them 20 times, in the last few days. Like, you have to kind of come back to, and they're still pretty fresh, So that's the biggest thing for me is I'm using the back halls, especially the raps. They're quick, and you got to hit the punchlines. You got to get it right. So I'm usually in the back in the hour or two before, just running through all the lyrics, looking at the set list, making sure I know what comes next. So yeah, that's kind of where my headspace usually is.